I was born into the physical world on January 2nd, 1955 in Rochester, Minnesota. My family was poor and growing up was rough. When I was 7, my sisters and I were sent to a children's home in Winona, Minnesota. After a year and a half, we were adopted and started a new life in Chanhassen, Minnesota. I had to adapt to a new city, a new name, a new school, and new friends. I understood what it was to be born again. I was born into the digital world on November 29, 1995. My digital birth happened when I purchased a Macintosh Performa 6200 computer and logged into my Apple eWorld account for the first time. I became part of a digital community. I became one of the e-people. My digital self was born and began to grow. My digital self is like a mirror image of my physical self. It is a creation of what I say, do, and create. My digital self evolves as it spends time in the digital universe. I take care to choose how I create my physical life, and I do the same in my digital life. After my infancy with eWorld, I spent my grade school years with CompuServe, Earthlink, Yahoo, and America Online. MySpace housed my digital self during my teens, but thankfully that was only a stage. I have now matured to Facebook, where my digital self has found a permanent home. Everybody has their own digital universe. What does my digital universe look like? Well, for business, I have LinkedIn, I have Twitter, I have my documents in the cloud, I use texting, I have Google+, I have email, I have music that I can listen to online, ebooks that I can download at any time, photographs that I can upload and share with others, videos that I can watch online no matter where I am, and of course, the king of them all, I have Facebook. These are the things that comprise my digital universe, and this is how I interact with everybody else. Not long ago, I had separate devices for listening to music. There was radio, records, tapes, and CDs. I had a film camera and a video camera. My phone was only used to verbally communicate with others. I wrote letters by hand or used a typewriter. I had a basic video game console that hooked up to my TV and played Pong and a few other games. Now I can do all those things on my smartphone and access the digital universe from almost anywhere. Instead of boxes and albums of photos, I now upload digital images to Facebook and Flickr, where they are visible to everyone instantly. Rather than writing a letter and mailing it, and sometimes waiting a week or more for it to arrive at its destination, I can text and email a message instantly. I can even mass produce and send the message to everybody in my address book instantaneously. And just like in the Jetsons cartoons, I now can video phone via Skype with my grandson in Chicago from my home in Duluth. My Facebook page is the first place to visit if you really want to start to get to know me. Here you can see my interests, take a look at some of my photographs, see who some of my friends and family are. After visiting me on Facebook, you can also find me on LinkedIn, where you can learn about my business, The Digital Attic. There, you'll find a link that will take you to my actual business website. When you visit The Digital Attic, you'll be able to see the services I offer and learn a little bit more about my photography via my gallery. When we text, email, or post on a social media site, it loses relevance without including the rest of the conversation. Just like in physical life, our digital life is connected to those we interact with. When it comes time to write our story, if we don't include the entire conversation, all we will have is a one-sided set of comments that lose relevance. This best describes the very nature of the World Wide Web, a vast interconnected web of users. So much of what is out there would make no sense without considering this web of connections. As I have matured in my digital universe, I've created a large amount of content that defines my digital self. As I age, I will continue to add more content to my digital self. Currently, over 1 billion people are using social networks, and one thing they all have in common is that they are all going to die. In 2011, 3 Facebook users died every minute, which adds up to over 1.7 million users. When they die, what happens to their online profiles and all that content? Well, here's where things get interesting. We currently have software that can make sense of our content. Personality predictors already exist that through the use of algorithms can make certain predictions based on your social media data. An application called That Can Be My Next Tweet generates your future tweets based on the DNA of your existing messages. Hunch, a marketing tool, provides personalized recommendations tailored specifically for you. Hunch can determine the affinity between any user and any item based on a user's tastes, preferences, and interests. This technology continues to improve and offers the possibility that one day soon, all my content could be used to create a digital clone that can interact with future generations. How about a virtual alter ego after you lie 6 feet under?
There's a new way to achieve immortality, at least digital immortality.
Hi, I'm Dawn. I hope all is well. Who am I speaking?
Meet Don Davidson. Actually, that's his avatar. Here's the real Don Davidson. He's the CEO and chief talking head of Intellitar. You give them a photo of yourself and an audio recording of your life story. Employing artificial intelligence, your avatar is able to talk to future generations.
I often joke about how I would want to live to be 150 years old. I may not be able to achieve that in the physical universe, but I may be able to achieve it in the digital universe as long as no one pulls the plug.